I am adopted. And for most of my life, that identity of being adopted meant the total inability to know who I was, what I wanted, where I came from, or even what my purpose was. It left me in a total state of victim mode, playing off my fear of abandonment. So because of this disconnection, I sought out connection in many different forms. So as a kid, this looked like extreme overachieving, high-performing perfectionism, and like a total dismissal of any negative emotions because I was, love me please don't leave. As an adult, the stakes got a little bit higher. Connection came in the form of drugs, alcohol, sex, many failed relationships, and a totally unfulfilling career. But here's what took me 35 years to figure out. I had every tool I needed to find my way back to myself. And you do too. We are living, walking, breathing roadmaps. And you have the compass to find your way back to yourself. So just breathe. So let me back this up just a little bit. 2 years ago, prompted by a sale, I purchased a 23andMe test. I was super curious about my genetic health history because it was always just a big question mark. When I took that test, I had no idea that I would get way more than just clarity on my health history. The test revealed a potential first match. And initially, I just shrugged. I honestly didn't know if it was a path I wanted to follow, but after a weekend of binge drinking and questionable decisions, something that had unfortunately become like super commonplace in my life, there was a voice. And the voice was telling me to follow that breadcrumb. So I reached out. And an hour later, that cousin reached back out to me. And later that evening, we were having a conversation. She knew who my biological dad was. He still talked to my biological mom, and they both lived like 3 hours from me. He was ready for me to call him. Wow. Just breathe, right? Remember to breathe. So after many long conversations with both my biological mother and father, I decided I was going to meet them. And I had no idea that at that point, this would be the turning point, right? My bio dad is an alluring and slightly tormented soul. He loves motorcycles, he's an artist, and he is super unusual but has an extreme amount of depth. My bio mom is charismatic. She's magnetic. She's completely oblivious to the power she holds, and she creates this like swirling vortex, like pulling people in with her beautiful, albeit messy, love. There were other characteristics I shared with my 4 bio half-siblings as well. Everyone was super social, very creative. Everyone loved music. Everyone liked to connect, talk, opinionated, unique, right? But I also noticed another thing we all shared in common. We all really liked to drink and smoke. And this was like the first time in my life that I had mirrors. I had people that like looked like me and acted like me, talked like me, and they were coping like me too. And I didn't want to do that anymore. And I knew I had to take action soon. So this was truly like the crossroads in a 4-year journey to finding myself. So like 4 years earlier, I started a yoga practice. I took a beginner yoga series and I learned the poses, right? In 2016, I experienced extreme stress, chronic stress, which manifested physically. So I really learned the tie between mind and body. 2018 was like, this was the year. I left a relationship. I hired a life coach. I started and committed to a daily meditation practice, took that freaking 23andMe test, met my biological family, and I flirted with and then actually committed to being alcohol-free. Still alcohol-free. 2019, though, I was totally ready to quit more than just my habits. I was ready to quit that unfulfilling career. I was going to quit my job. I was going to go to India for a yoga training. And then I was just going to see what happened after that. But it would be there. in the Himalayan foothills in Rishikesh, India, where I connected with that compass, where I found my breath. So, breathwork, right? It's like a totally vague term used to describe any form of breathing practices or techniques. In India, I learned yogic pranayama. So let's break that down. Pranayama, prana meaning your life force energy, yama meaning to tune or align. So you're literally aligning your energy with your optimal way of being, how you're naturally supposed to move through the world. It's beautiful. Prana is energy. It's like the essence of you. It's what makes you unique. It's your vitality, your inspiration, your motivation, drive. It is literally everything, and there's an infinite supply. You can't run out. So we can have all sorts of profound and magnetic effects with the breath, and we do that by forming a bridge of communication. The breath, right, communicates from the body to the mind and back again. So most of the population is actually breathing from the upper portion of their chest. This is shallow breathing. You're not accessing the full capacity. So what does this do? When you're only breathing from the top portion of your chest, you're actually sending signals to the body that there's a stressor involved. Your heart rate will increase, your blood pressure will also increase. But then think about how you feel, what thoughts are going through your head. Might feel a little chaotic, a little stressed, a little anxious. The mind-body connection. So if we can consciously slow the breath down, we send more messages, right? We tell the heart rate and blood pressure to lower, which in turn sends messages to the mind that you are safe, right? There's no need to freak out in this moment. So let's try it here, okay? Close your eyes, no matter where you are, and just bring your awareness to the breath. Just watch the breath as it enters you through the nose and it exits through the nose. And don't control it, just watch it. Notice how it moves through you. Notice where you might be breathing from. Are you breathing in the top portion of your chest? Or are you now naturally breathing a little bit deeper? Does this awareness help you self-regulate? So you're still breathing here with your eyes closed. Let's access our full lung capacity, right? Our life capacity. So as you inhale through your nose, expand your belly first, then your ribs, then your chest. This allows us to access all of the lung capacity, all of your life capacity. And exhale the same way. Belly, ribs, chest. Contract the belly slightly, push the air out. Take a few rounds here. Notice how the breath naturally regulates, naturally slows down, it naturally balances. You can open your eyes now. How do you feel? Do you feel a little bit different? I'm sure you feel a little bit different, right? That's fucking empowering. It allows us to change our state, our energetic state, by using a tool we have built in. We don't need anything outside of ourselves. So you might be asking, why do we want to do it? How does this affect my quality of life? What changes can happen with breath work? So when I was in India, I realized that I had been dealing with pretty severe energetic imbalances my entire life. When I was tired, I would reach for caffeine. When I was sad, I would reach for alcohol. When I was lonely, sex. I was constantly looking for something outside of myself to connect me back to myself. What this did is it just kept the hole there, and the hole kept getting bigger. So when I was empowered enough to realize I had my own tools, things started to change. So really, the gist of this is that I have cleared enough of society's shit through breathing that I can now finally see, right? I'm utilizing my compass. My compass, my breath. My breath allows me to stay present. Staying present allows me to be self-aware. Being self-aware allows me to deeply connect with my intuition. And when that happens, I can truly see. I see my limitless potential, my greatness. And you can too. Just breathe.